So about a year and a half ago, I got a DM on Twitter from some guy named Leon Neyfakh. I didn't recognize the name. And he just said, I really love your podcast called Awkward Celebrity Encounters. It's another kind of podcast that I did a few years ago. And I just said, thank you. I didn't think much of it. But then I thought, I wonder who that guy is. Maybe he's important or something. So I looked him up and I was like, oh my God, that's Leon Neyfakh, the guy who does the Slow Burn podcast, which I loved. And I remember being really impressed by that and by him. And I DM'd him back and just said, I'm a big fan of your podcast as well. And then he said, do you have any interest in doing more podcasts? And I was like, yeah, I'd love to. Do you have something in mind? And he said, well, if you're interested in doing stuff, maybe we could meet and you could tell me some ideas. And I was like, okay. And then he was like, how about like this afternoon? And I was like, okay. So we met up at a park. He brought his dog and I actually recorded the conversation in case we end up using it. And he just asked me, for some ideas I had for podcasts. And I told him some ideas, one of which was 365 stories I want to tell you before we both die. I didn't have the title yet, but the idea. And he said he liked that one and we should do it. So we started doing it and we would record it in his closet. And it was during COVID. So, that was why we weren't doing it in a studio. And we never really hung out or anything. I would just come over and I would sit in his closet and do some stories and then I would leave. And we've been doing that for a whole year. And, I didn't have 365 stories when we started. I just thought that was a good number. And, very quickly I was like, I'm running out of ideas, Leon. I don't know if I can think of any. And he'd always say, I think you can. And I would say, I don't know. I'm really running out. These are just like the dregs. These are the dregs of stories. And he would always say, I'm always surprised at how you manage to like just make these good stories out of these very slim, events. And I'm like, yeah, but wait till you get to the end and they're really slim. And he was always just very, I don't know, just very. Yesterday, I was doing it again. I was just saying, these new ones are going to be really bad. I'm all tapped out. I have no more stories left. These are just non-stories. And he wrote back and he just wrote, I believe in you. And I was very moved by that. And he's been doing this basically for a whole year. He's just been basically saying, I believe in you. And I mean, I don't believe in me, but he does. And it really helps to have someone else believe in you when you don't believe in yourself. And I don't know, you can't, that's just a gift that no one can give you. It just happens.